G'day losers, we're going shopping. The new musical reimagining of Mean Girls is finally out. I got to see it a day early. We're going to review it right here. Is it good? Is it bad? Let's find out right now.
Rachel Hamilton fills her inhaler with vodka.
Oh, that's how you use it.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. As I said in the intro, we're going to be reviewing Mean Girls. This is like a reimagining with a new cast, kind of like a remake of the classic 2004 version, kind of like an adaptation of the Broadway version, so kind of mixing those all together for a whole new experience. And I was actually very excited to see this. Got a great cast, trailers look really fun. It could be the first fun movie of the year, but before we get into the review, make sure you leave a like on the channel, subscribe. It's free to do so, helps me out a lot. I'm going to give you guys a quick plot synopsis, just so you know what the movie is about. New student Katie Heron gets welcomed to the top of the social food chain by an elite group of popular girls called the Plastics, ruled by the conniving Queen Bee, Regina George. However, when Katie makes the major misstep of falling for Regina's ex-boyfriend, she soon finds herself caught in their own crosshairs. Alright, before we get fully in depth on this review, I do want to give you some of my thoughts on the 2004 classic. It's kind of crazy how it's basically been 20 years since that original movie came out. When that movie came out, I was only 1 year old, so I really couldn't watch it. I mean, the first time I watched it, I don't even remember. It's got to be a while ago, probably like 5 years ago. I watched it when I was, decently young, but not when I was 1 year old. That wouldn't make much sense. But yeah, I think it's a great film. Honestly, such a classic. I feel like, it's a must watch for anyone when they grow up. It's just a very fun movie, very funny movie. It has a lot of funny lines, famous lines, and the cast is amazing. It's very rewatchable movie too. It's very short, only probably like an hour and 45, just like this new one. I think this new one is only like an hour and 50, something like that, because the musical elements do it a little bit of runtime to it. So yeah, I was going into this one kind of excited. The trailers seemed pretty interesting, and the more kind of trailers we got, the more excited I got for this, because I feel like it just added a little bit more flair to it. And yes, it is a musical, so we're gonna get to that in a second. But if you're going into it thinking it's not, well, you're going to be sadly disappointed. I mean, a lot of people said you can't tell from the trailers, but I kind of could tell. I could see the musical elements, the musical scenes, all the dance scenes in it. I could tell it has musical elements, but I think they should market it a little bit better for, musical fans and, non-musical fans. But yeah, I was pretty interested in this, and I will say, I'm very happy with this movie. It's the first really good January movie, and we've done it after a couple bad movies this January, and we'll probably have a couple more bad movies this January. We finally have our first really good and maybe great movie this year. I think that this movie will get a lot of business because I think it's the best movie out right now. And I will say it's a very fun movie, just like the original classic one. It's just so fun. It's funny like the classic. And it just, it has so much energy flowing through it, and I just was like ecstatic when I was watching it. And it's the most fun I think I've had in a movie since like Barbie and like Bottoms. So it's just a lot of fun. I feel like a lot of people will enjoy it. And as I said, anyone should watch Mean Girls. It's just not for one specific gender. You can really have a lot of fun with it. It's really funny too. It's just a classic comedy, like reimagined with some musical elements. So now we're going to talk about the musical elements, because I was a little worried. Musicals don't always work for me. I'm not like 100% a musical fan. I mean, La La Land is a musical kind of, and it's one of my favorite films, but I will say 80% of musicals don't work with me. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't flow with me. Sometimes the musical elements in a movie, they feel so disconnected from the actual movie, so it doesn't really work for me all the time. But I will say most of these songs really did work for me. I feel like how they combine the musical elements with the actual movie, I think that worked a lot too. I think that has a lot to do with how much I enjoy it. And I will say, I probably won't listen to these songs outside of watching the movie. Some musicals I do listen to the songs outside the movie, but I will say I think for this one the songs work a little bit better with the movie, because they really, it's about the movie, it's about the plot line. So you need to really have the songs with the movie. But I will say the songs did work quite well. I did like them a lot. And the camera work I thought was really strong here, especially during the musical scenes, because it's going everywhere. You have so many people dancing. You have to capture all these people, all these moments, and I thought that it did really well. The transitions between the musical scenes into the action movie was also really well done. I like that a lot. They do use some forms of social media, camera angles too, social media platforms, which I liked a lot. I will say some of my favorite parts were, of course, you know, the talent show from the original, that's just a classic scene, and the Halloween party. Those are two of my favorite parts of the movie, and the bus scene at the end. We all love that bus scene at the end. So funny. And there are some cameos in the movie, as you saw in the trailer. There's some cameos from the cast of the 2004 film that were awesome to see. And there's also one cameo that I was not expecting to see in this film, but seeing her in here was just so amazing. It runs full circle now that we got to see her in the original classic film and in this one. So I was very happy to see her, and I was like kind of blown away by it. And maybe people knew that she was going to be in it. I didn't know she was going to be in it, so I was very happy to see her in it. And to finish it off, I just want to talk about the cast for a little bit. I think the whole cast shines here. I loved everyone in this cast. You know, everyone has a lot to do. Most of them do get, you know, songs they get to sing. They all are great in their own way. But Renee Rapp and the girl who played Janice, I'm not gonna even try to say her name because I'm gonna butcher it really bad, so I'm not even gonna do it. But they were both the two standouts of the film, and they're both, you know, both so amazing. I love them a lot. They both get to say so many of the famous lines, which I like a lot. And just Regina George and Janice are some great characters, and I really did love them a lot. So, you know, Mean Girls, you know, I don't even know what to call it, just Mean Girls 2024. It's great. It's really good. The, you know, first great movie of the year, this big standout of January. I think this one is going to get a lot of business. I really recommend you guys check this out in a movie theater. The musical elements work for me a lot. The whole cast shined in here, and I love the, you know, I love the camera angles, love the camera work in this one. It really well done. So I'm going to give Mean Girls an 8 out of 10. I was pleasantly surprised with this one. The trailers were great, and the movie ended up being great. You don't really get that to happen a lot, but as I said, I do recommend this one a lot. I hope you guys did enjoy my review of Mean Girls. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Helps a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.